them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. On 1st and 10, Blanchard. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down. Here's the first carry for Bo Scarborough. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
They go play action here on 1st down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
Offensively, when you see cover 2, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. Looking left sideline, it's complete. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now, and I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Blanchard. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. That brings up 3rd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Operating from the gun, Blanchard. And incomplete. Almost intercepted. The D lineman almost had it. Couldn't hang on. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Hey, 47. 26.
The give is to Elliott. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later. And they insert their dime package, 6 DBs here on 3rd and 6.
Expecting pass all the way. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. So out now come the Lions. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Blanchard. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. David Irving in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. From the gun, Blanchard completes it to Moncrief left side. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
I spy a couple of extra defensive backs on the field for Dallas.
Cowboys in the dime on 3rd.
Now let's go. Boom, land it.
Operating from the gun, Blanchard. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Dante Fowler in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Pulled in at the 24. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Give him 30 yards there.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. First down, Prescott. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Prescott now. Over the middle, the connection to Hearns. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down. On 1st and 10, Prescott. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Aaron Lynch in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Again to Elliott. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
3rd and long for Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Well contained there defensively. The screen gets only a yard, and it's 4th. And Bailey able to knock it through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. Little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
Throwing on 1st down. Blanchard underneath for Miller. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Well, they've already allowed 3 sacks in this first half. Now a holding penalty.
So I think drastic measures had to be taken, right? The regular way was not working. He was getting hit almost every snap, it felt like. They had to try and keep him upright.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
From the gun, Blanchard. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That goes for a gain of 31.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10.
Now let's go. 3-19.
A 1st down carry now for Miller. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Dumps it complete to Miller. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 2 minutes remain here in the 1st half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. The Lions on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Detroit! Detroit!
Operating from the gun. Blanchard. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
On 2nd down, here's Miller. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Sean Lee, the Pro Bowler, there for the tackle.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've only converted once in 4 tries. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches.
Lucky 56.
From the gun, Blanchard. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So they do get the 3 points before they hit halftime. Something to build on, maybe.
Yeah, go ahead and raise the banner, right? Wave the flag. That's good. Got points. And now, as you said, they've got something to build on as they get ready for the 2nd half.
And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20. Call it the 21-yard line. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10.
Hey, 47. 26.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott steps away. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Shane Ray in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this 1st half of action. sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
We'll go 47, 26, 26.
Now Prescott. And the pressure gets to him again. Aaron Lynch. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. As they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Here you go. 26.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say, we'll see what happens. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show him one thing, hit him with something else.
And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
26.
Prescott now on 2nd down. Completes it to Hearns. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call. And
you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
It's coming now. 26.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. Call it an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be 3rd down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
26. 26.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Drops it underneath to Elliott. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 18 yards there and a 1st down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And he's got this down to the 35. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage, if he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. A first down carry by Elliott. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Here we go. Get back. Let's go. Get out. Get out. It's coming now.
They go to Elliott again. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. And now it looks like we've got a Cowboy shaken up down there on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. The Cowboys on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the lead is now 17-3. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken near the 13. And up past the 35. A very good return, but a penalty down. That may negate all the good work. So that will push him back.
And now we know why I have a little extra space to run, don't we? No legal block in the back. That penalty will move them back.
On first down, Blanchard finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way. And really, we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. A first carry for Trenton Canham. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. Second down.
While there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
Watch it now, Barney. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Off play action. Blanchard going deep for Moncrief. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Detroit! Over!
To throw on third down. Blanchard. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. He's going to field this at the 4. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Cowboys will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. And now here come the Cowboys. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Yeah, still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line.
Let's go. Let's finish now.
And on the ground they go with a running back. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Awesome. 46.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Aaron Lynch in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. They'll need a big play here, will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Now they'll run it on the toss. Fights him off. And he'll go down for a loss inside his own 5 at the 4. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Well, it's an offense, some drives you have it, some drives you don't. And this one looks like you don't.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, it was 3rd and long. It was screaming for a pass. I think they tried to outguess him there with the running play. They didn't fool him at all.
Went in the wrong direction.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Sean Lee, the linebacker, able to get a hand in coverage.
And that incompletion was caused by the defense. I think they were trying to get one into the middle of the field, trying to find a receiver there. But they were in zone defense. And what are the advantages of being in zone? Eyes and reaction. Eyes meaning all eyes are on the quarterback and able to react when he throws the football and rally to that spot. And that's exactly what happened there. Able to get there and knock it away.
He'll rifle this one deep right side. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. A first throw for the backup Trubisky. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd.
Lock in.
Here's a give to Miller. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Byron Jones in there to make the tackle. Off the play fake. Here's Trubisky. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
The Lions on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Trubisky. He's got his man. It's Williams. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. From the shotgun is Trubisky. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Dante Moncrief, his first touchdown on the year. And the Lions able to get this back within a touchdown. Extra point good by Prater. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together...
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Hey, Sean Robinson in there to record another sack. Their 6th of the afternoon. Second and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack.
26.
Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Prescott from the gun on third. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Young. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
After the interception, here's Trubisky. Over to the right side, caught by Moncrief. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
Trubisky now 4 of 5 since coming on. It's 1st and 10. Now it's Trubisky. throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. 13 yards down to the 13.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
On second down, Trubisky. He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Jalen Strong, his second touchdown on the season. And the Lions are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And now running right through it. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out.
And this is going to be intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And he will score. Touchdown, Lions. Now Prater to add the PAT. Prater for the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field, and fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. On second down, Prescott again. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Prescott now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Now Prescott. It's brought in by Jamison Crowder. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 23 yards on the play. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Touchdown, Cowboys. A great effort there. 39 yards. And the Cowboys are an extra point away from tying the football game. A very important extra point there, up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the fourth. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Eluding the pressure right. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Now they'll run it on the toss. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
On second down, here's Trubisky. And he slings one that's incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Out of the gun, Trubisky. He's going to air one out. So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's fourth.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. Second down, Prescott. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
That gets them the first down, but they've still got to move quickly here.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Prescott to throw. Over the middle, the connection to Hearns. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, a 22.
Okay, there's 3 timeouts left, right?
Think you got to use one here, don't you?
No doubt about it. I'd use one right here.
And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Prescott. It's caught right side. It turns. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. And we're going to get another timeout called by the Lions, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Get out.
Here's Prescott. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Zach Miller as tight end there, and it's 3rd and short. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now Prescott. He finds his target. It's Crowder. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Brandon, it's okay what they're doing right now. Still able to work the middle of the field, but you know sooner or later they're going to have to stop the clock.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop him with 13 seconds left to play.
Here we go, 46.
And they'll go on the ground. Eventually wrangled down before reaching the 20, but a strong run. Now they get the timeout. It leads you to wonder, will they kick it here or risk running another play and possibly not getting down in time? We'll see. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And they'll get him down right about the 20. Now the timeout will be called, so they're in field goal range with 3 seconds left. So it all comes down to the foot of Dan Bailey. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. So it all comes down to the foot of Dan Bailey. With 3 seconds to go, this for the win. And his kick is through. It is good. Dan Bailey, the hero as time expires. And it'll be a good time in Big D tonight. The Cowboys have won it. Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for the Cowboys, They keep pace for a playoff spot as they move to 7-3. And they'll return home next week to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for Detroit, they suffered just their second loss as they drop to 8-2 now on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against the Chicago Bears. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Thicker the ply, thicker the bag. Meet him a bite, now lacing no beamer. I'm Brian O'Connor, I'm driving it fast. They were just hating cause they in the way, and I'm way up and made it. The mad, man in that bag.